In this WrestleTalk news, a WWE release has been re-hired, more conflict backstage in AEW, Ollie's review of Raw, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos so you can acknowledge your tribal peak as your true Jam That Champion, not stupid Ollie with his stupid interim belt that's stupid. Stupid Ollie.
Support WrestleTalk!
Unless you've been living under a rock, not that one, you'd have heard the big continuous news story from the past 2 years has been the overwhelming amount of talent WWE has let go, totaling well over 100 wrestlers as well as staff and corporate faces too. There's been the success stories of people finding themselves elsewhere in wrestling, and even those who were rehired by WWE and then fired again, like Samoa Joe. There was someone else who was fired by WWE, was rehired and then fired again, and his name is
Drake Maverick.
How did you get in my news segment, Ollie? Get out of here! It seems that Maverick's WWE saga hasn't ended yet, as he has now been fired, rehired, fired, and rehired again, according to a report from PW Insider, all in the space of under 2 years. This time, though, he's not been working as a wrestler, but instead has reportedly been part of the Raw creative team for the past few weeks. This was later corroborated by Fightful Select, who noted that Maverick had actually started working on the creative team before his 90-day non-compete clause had expired, as he was released in November 2021. There's no word currently on if Maverick will also be featured as a wrestler or will just remain in a backstage role in the company, but regardless, best of luck to
Drake Maverick.
Get out of here, Ollie! My news. Someone who may be joining Maverick in WWE before long is Cody Rhodes, as last night's Raw was dripping with teases for the former AEW founder. It had been noted last week that several people backstage in AEW were glad Brandi Rhodes had left the company. Now, however, it seems it wasn't just Brandi some people were happy to see gone. In the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that while many publicly thanked Cody for his work, it was noted to us that this was not universal. There were those happy both Cody and Brandi were gone and thought the hero treatment given to him by some in the company after he left is a great public story, but not the real story. A lot of the talent quietly were celebrating, and it wasn't all the sadness it was made out to be. One of the key people in the company said he was very surprised at the departure, but said the reaction was positive for most of the locker room. But this isn't the only account of some sort of dissension in the AEW locker room, as Big Swole has mentioned her experience of her creative frustration while on her run in AEW. Aside from the controversy surrounding her departure from the company, thanks Tony, Big Swole's AEW run was seemingly pretty decent, with her largest match being against Dr. Britt Baker DMD in the cinematic Tooth and Nail match from All Out 2020. However, Swole has now revealed on the Public Enemies podcast that match wasn't exactly smooth sailing either. When approaching the end of the filming day for the match, Swole had a realization about what they had filmed so far, and said, "I look at Kenny Omega and I was like, Kenny, we haven't wrestled, there's no substance to this. This is just, I don't know what this is. This is a trailer at this point, you know? Because I couldn't say certain things, I couldn't make fun of her being a dentist and a doctorate because she said that's her real job. So we had like a mini argument about that. But we got to the end and I was like, can we just put a little bit more into this? Kenny and I stopped for, it was at least 40 minutes to try and put some type of action into it. And now, hot tag to stupid Ollie with a stupid fake interim belt.
Oh, what's that, Pete? You saying I'm a stupid boy with a stupid fake wrestling championship belt? Well, what's this then, Pete? Does this look like a stupid fake wrestling championship belt? No! It's a real wrestling championship belt. We put a jam sticker on, because jam is the colour of the blood I sacrificed to win it. And once I defended a revolution, I'm coming to unify the belts. A WrestleJamia. But until then, now it's time for my review of the Elimination Chamber Fallout episode of Raw. In about 5 minutes, yeah, I dabbed. I've often thought to myself, how will WWE answer AEW's product focusing on three-dimensional characters with long story arcs like their world champion, millennial anxious cowboy Hangman Page? With their own uncomplicated version, of course. Overly confident, snuggly cowboy Brock Lesnar. He looks so comfy. As the Silver Surfer to Roman Reigns' Galactus, Paul Heyman interrupted Brock's celebration, revealing Lesnar will have to defend his title on Saturday the 5th of March in MSG against Bobby Lashley. But probably not Bobby Lashley, because he's concussed. Sidebar, isn't it weird that WWE have avoided talking about concussions for 15 years and is now explicitly using it to cover for a shoulder injury? So if Bobbles can't make it, Heyman will find Brock a worthy challenger. Cody Rhodes to WWE the day before Revolution on an untelevised house show confirmed. Also, way to dick on the winner-takes-all stipulation at WrestleMania, Paul. The graphic tells me both belts are on the line. Brock lost his way a bit in this promo, repeated a few lines, and then said he's going to be at SmackDown this Friday for the Tribal Chief to acknowledge him. Alpha Academy cheated to beat the Street Profits for the second week in a row in some fun action, but most importantly, it wasn't the Street Profits versus Dirty Dogs again, because Dolph Ziggler is so intent on being every main roster call-up's first feud, he's even going down to NXT to start them early now. The Dirty Dogs lost in about 5 minutes to Tommaso Ciampa, the only man to not get a full entrance in this match. Run, Ciampa! The main roster is a trap! Tagging with a returning Finn Balor. Balor looked good, and Ciampa got the actual win by pinning Rude. Miz is still cutting promos on the Mysterios, rightfully pointing out that Dom cheated to help his dad win at Elimination Chamber. Miz teased his mega superstar new partner to balance the odds as dashing Cody Rhodes to a mid-card 2K22 promoting feud confirmed, but ended up introducing Logan Paul as reported. The Mysterios accepted a tag match against them at Mania, and the heels beat them down to stand tall. Logan's various WWE runs have been horribly tone-deaf so far, with the company pushing him as a babyface social media influencer who has graced us with his celebrity presence. They finally realized how naturally unlikable him and his on-screen and arguably off-screen persona are, and are pushing him now as a douchebag heel, the perfect partner for The Miz, and a proven big-time box office draw in his boxing pay-per-views. Fear is still coming to Raw. It's like a goddamn tantric sex thing now. And Rhea Ripley is still winning short matches against Nikki ASH. I'm not even sure which one's been going on longer anymore. The Undertaker was advertised as up next, and then we got the same 5-minute video package on his career we saw at Elimination Chamber. Damian Priest beat Shelton Benjamin in a few minutes, then cut a promo asking for an opponent with World Championship caliber. Balor accepted. I'm seeing double. 4 Finn Balor appearances on Raw. While commentary had to remind us, oh yes, he is World Championship caliber. Remember, he won the first Universal title over 5 years ago for a day that one time. Reggie invited Dana Brooke, who's looking more and more like Natalia every week, down to the ring to apologize for turning on her to win the 24/7 title and to show he really does care for her. He laid down for her to win it back and then kept kicking out until she snogged him. Dana won the belt back because she kissed a boy. Oh, smash those glass ceilings, Dana. Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch had a really good back and forth promo. Now their 9-month storyline has ended its WrestleMania home straight. They recapped the SummerSlam squash, Bianca fighting to get to the front of the line again, and Lynch blaming Belair for all the people turning on her, which is a great story and character, if the fans actually truly accepted Becky as a heel. Becky moved to commentary to then watch a really good match between Bianca and Doudrop. Yes, we've seen this match play out multiple times just 2 months ago, but they work together so well, and Belair's strength is so impressive that the crowd went crazy for her running powerbomb and then KOD finisher to win. Edge is back, hopefully to have a match we actually want to see now. A great promo as always. He spoke about all the manias he's stolen, that he's felt phenomenal, teasing AJ Styles, and said the words, undeniable, smoke and mirrors. Cody Rhodes' entrance music to WWE confirmed. He finished with an open challenge. Someone step up from the locker room to fight him at Mania, and he'll make them live forever. Gonna live forever. And with just 10 minutes of the show left for the main event, RK Bro took on Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens, where if the heels won, they'd be added to the tag title match with Alpha Academy in 2 weeks' time. Of course this match was really fun, but it was more than that, with KO and Seth really getting over the story of their relationship, Owens sacrificing himself for Rollins whenever he could. Seth stomped Orton outside the ring, and they hit a stunner stomp combo on Riddle to win. We're getting a triple threat match for the tag titles in 2 weeks, which is a feud I fantasy booked just last month. I'm very happy. What did you think of Raw? Let me know in the comments. 67% of you voted for Where Cody? Shrugging emoji. This was a fine start to the final month of WrestleMania build. Edge teased his opponent, the Logan Paul angle added some celebrity zaniness, and Becky and Bianca feels like the first credible women's title feud since August. And for the immediate term of Raw, Priest versus Balor next week, and the tag title triple threat the week after actually makes me excited for future episodes. There wasn't anything super standout for me on this one though, and the in-ring matches never went beyond 10 minutes. This week's Raw is 56%. Do you like wrestling? Do you like board games? Then you'll love our board game tournament produced wrestling-style Lord of the Board. Watch Laurie Blake versus Sully now.
I think actually I don't really have a bad word to say about Sullivan. Scum! He's a really nice guy, he's really funny, he's very charming.
And I hate him!
He's really sweet. I actually think we're becoming, like, he could be becoming one of my best friends.
I want him dead!
I'm the backbone of this channel. I should be winning this. I'm gonna eat your still beating heart.